Hello and welcome back to another tutorial on jsPsych. Today we are going to learn about browser interaction. So creating experiments online and allowing participants to run experiments or do experiments online, you might encounter one situation where participants may not be doing the experiment, they may be on other screen. So for example, I might do this and then I'm on practice trial, but then I'm in another website doing something else, looking at tutorials, for example, look at other stuff, and then boom, experiment's finished. So, and then you have to pay your participants, and after that, when you receive the data, you find that the participant hasn't done anything in the experiment, and you wasted your wasted time and you wasted money because you have to pay your participant, especially if you're doing it online. Maybe there are hundreds of people who are not doing it seriously and can't tell. So this function will solve that problem. In a way, you might be able to figure out who didn't do the experiment properly or whether they are looking at the screen. So this is the function that we're gonna talk about or go through today. It's called the onInteraction data update. So this is actually a function. So this onInteraction data update is what are you gonna do when the participant is on or off the screen. So it's a function. The data is a different type of data than the usual data we get in jsPsych. To show you an example, I'm gonna console log the data just to show you how what it actually contains. So let's refresh the screen and press F12. So it is an object. It tells me the event, which is whether you're focused on the screen. So blur is when you're not on the screen. And when you're focused, it's focused. And trial tells you which trial number or which screen ID, which trial number that this event happened. And how long has the time passed? So that's time. So when I switch, it says blur. Come back, it's gonna be focused. So right now it's focused because I'm back on the screen and I click on the screen. So I'm back on this entire experiment. When I leave, it's blur again. I'm back in focus. And then let's try. I'm out of my screen. And I'm back. So it tells me it's been 5 seconds since it passed. But the problem here, after we have the data, we can't see any of this. It is because this whole set of data is separate from our main data. So it is another set of data called interaction data. So we have to get this data out and put it back into our main data. So this data here refers to the interaction data that you get from leaving the browser or entering the browser. What we have to do is to put it into our main data. So we have to get the main trial data. So we can do this by getting the trial variable trial jsPsych dot get current trial. So we're going to get a current trial. If you want to know what the current trial contains, you can use jsPsych dot current trial. So actually it contains the trial ID. Okay, let's give it trial var trial we're gonna do the same thing as we did in the script. So console.log. So return current trunk, there's nothing inside. So it's already end. One way we can test is to log the current trial instead of the data. Okay, let's actually log both. So console. So you see the data, the event, it's blurred because I switched out the screen. And you see the data. The trial date has the data, which is what we want, and the type, which is the plugin, the preamble, which is everything we're filling for the trial or for that variable, the trial variable, including the functions for onFinish, data as array, button labels, everything. What we want is the data because we have to put this interaction data into our main data. So with the log trial.data, instead of just data, so we have the screen ID, only the screen ID. So to put it inside the main data, let's put event, because the data type for the interaction data, we have event. We've seen before, it's whether it's blur, whether we have entered or exit full screen, or whether we are focused. So data.event. We only need that because it's logged to the trial. We don't need the time in and out because we already have that in the main data. We don't need the trial because it's in the main data. So we have that. So we can test this by running the whole experiment again. I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to leave the screen and come back. So right now you should be able to see the event focused. And I'm out. So on trials that you are not focused, it's going to show you the screen. So to show you in another format, I'm going to put it in CSV file so we can see it clearly. I'm out. I'm back in again. So I'm going to open this. And it tells you that you went back because I went out and I went back in. So it shows you, it only logs the last one. But as long as you leave the screen, it's going to show blur, and when it comes, it's going to show focus. So anything that has this tag on tells you whether you're on the screen or off the screen. If you're blurred, that means you're off the screen for the entire trial. But if it's focused, you're off screen, and then you went back in during that trial. So there we go. We have interaction data. So we can actually change it to focus, on focus, or screen focus instead of event. Screen focus. So we know it's clearly stated whether you're off or on focus. So that's it. Today we learned about interaction data, browser interaction, and how to track those interactions outside the experiment. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Hope to see you in the next one.